Let's take a look at it. Grab me a cup. And there we are, and good afternoon. It's time for Strat-O-Matic Baseball. Steve Aquilong here. Hopefully a little more awake for the afternoon game. And welcome Jack Brooks. I went random this morning and played a morning game, not quite awake. In fact, I'm still not quite awake. I don't know what my problem is today. Oh no, and Jack snowed in 10 inches. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Jack. Hopefully you have all the provisions you need. That's about all you can do in that situation. So it's time for the 1 o'clock game. It's going to be the Cincinnati Reds, the Los Angeles Dodgers. As I mentioned earlier, I played the New York Mets at the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pirates tromped the Mets 10-4, and now find themselves only a half game back of the Dodgers in the National League. Two lefties on the mound today. Let's double check that. Yeah, O'Toole is indeed a lefty. Jim O'Toole for Cincinnati and Claude Osteen for Los Angeles. O'Toole making his first appearance of the season. He was 5-7 with a 3.55 ERA in real life, 24 starts. Osteen was 17-14 with a 2.85 ERA in 38 starts, and on the season in the replay, he's made 4 starts, 0-3 with a 3.72 ERA, 1 complete game, 29 innings, 30 hits allowed. He's walked a dozen and struck out 13. He says, yes, he has all he needs. He's got Strat-O-Matic. My sentiments exactly. So I'll go over the lineups and then we'll get into this one. Maybe I can snap out of it here. For the Reds, it will be Tommy Helms leading off at second base. Pete Rose is at third base. Vada Pinson will play right field and bat third. Don Pavletic behind the plate today in the cleanup spot. Tony Perez gets a start at first base. He'll bat fifth. DJ Darren Johnson in left field. Tommy Harper is in center. He's off to a horrible start to his season and a pretty good card. Leo Cardenas at short and Jim O'Toole, the pitcher, round out the lineup. For the Dodgers, it will be Maury Wills at shortstop leading off, Wes Parker at first base, Lou Johnson in right field today with Tommy Davis in left batting fourth. Jim Lefevre is at third base, Willie Davis in center field. Jeff Torberg will do the catching and bat seventh. Nate Oliver at second base, Claude Osteen, the pitcher, round out the lineup. And we're just about ready to get it going. Just getting underway as the Dodgers take the field. Just over 18,000 in attendance on a Thursday night game. And Osteen's completed his warm-ups now as the umpire says play ball, and in steps Tommy Helms to lead things off. Osteen gets his sign from Torborg. Here's the windup. First pitch of the game, a 2-5 against the lefty. A single to 12 on a 2, that's in there. Base hit just past the outstretched glove of Wills, and Helms is aboard with a leadoff single. Helms not a threat to steal. Leadoff single, and we are underway. And greetings, Franklin, and welcome. That cross-country trip's a bitch, isn't it? Especially in an hour and a half. From the stretch now, Rose comes in. Oh, I neglected the stats there. Helms came in batting 143, 6 for 42, no homers, 1 RBI. Pete Rose comes in at 265, 1 homer, 4 runs batted in. Osteen from the stretch. It's a 3-8 against the lefty. He struck him out. Osteen caught Rose looking. Not sure what he was looking for, but it's safe to say he did not get it. And he's down on strikes. And here's Pinson now. Veda Pinson comes in leading the Reds in batting at 289. 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. Osteen from the stretch. Pitch to Pinson is a 5-8. That's going to be a base hit up the middle. Single into center, an open single. Helms can try to take third on that. Davis a -1. Helms a 13. -1, 12 to third. He will hold up. So a base hit Pinson, first and second, 1 away. And here's the catcher, Don Pavletic now. Pavletic comes in 3 for 15 on the young season. He's got 1 home run, 2 RBIs. And Mike, yeah, well, it's tough. Get from Pittsburgh to LA in an hour and a half. You got to have a genie in a bottle for that shit, right? Here's Pavletic, first and second, 1 away. Osteen gets his sign from Torborg from the stretch now. Here's the pitch. It's a 3-5, grounder to short, and that's going to be 2. Wills has it. To Oliver, to Parker, double play. So Osteen gets out of the inning with a ground ball double play. The Reds 2 hits, no runs. They leave 1. And we go to the bottom of the first. Reds nothing. Dodgers coming to bat. Dodgers come in at 12-4, a half game ahead of Pittsburgh, as mentioned earlier. The Reds come in with a 4-8 record on the season. For O'Toole, his first appearance of the season. So he must have started the year in the minor leagues. And in the Reds' 13th game, they called him up and started him here. Left-handed pitcher, Maury Wills will lead things off, standing in from the right side against O'Toole. Wills comes into the game with an 11-game hitting streak on the line. O'Toole into the lineup. The pitch to Wills, a 6-6 to the righty. It's a tapper to short. Cardenas has it. Over to Perez, 1 away. And with 1 out, Wes Parker will be the hitter. And it might be, Franklin. It might have been, I should say. Mike's got the fast helicopter. That was on Tracy Chapman's second album. See if anybody gets that. Here's Parker now. 1 away. O'Toole to wind up the pitch. A 5-4 to the right-hander is catcher's card X. That'll be Pavletic, a 4E13. And here's the roll on the play. A 17, a foul out to the catcher, 2 down. Foul out to the catcher X. Parker retired. And here's Lou Johnson. Johnson comes in batting .328 on the season, 2 home runs. Leads the team in RBIs with 12. O'Toole into the windup. Pitch to Johnson. A 1-6 high fly ball to left field. Back goes Johnson to the track and makes the catch on the track to retire the side. So a 1-6 homer to 3. The roll is a 9. And it's just a loud out for Lou Johnson. 1-2-3 go the Dodgers in the first. We've played an inning here at Dodger Stadium and there is no score. And Franklin confirms the I Dream of Jeannie running. That seems right because I was a kid when I watched it. I remember that. I used to go over to the neighbor's house because they had a color TV and we didn't. Oh, yeah, remember those days? Black and white television. We move along to the second inning now. It'll be Perez, Johnson, and Harper for Cincinnati. Osteen gets the sign. Now the windup. The pitch to Tony Perez, a 3-7. Tapper down to shortstop. Wills has it. Over to Parker, one away. And here's Darren Johnson now. Johnson comes in batting .211, 3 home runs, and he leads the team in RBIs with 8. Osteen into the windup now. Here's the pitch. That's a 6-4 to the right-hander. It's a grounder to shortstop X. That'll be Wills, a 3-E27. Here's the roll on the play. An 11, that will be the error range. So a 9 on an E27, and Wills has it. Throws Johnson out, 2 away. So 2 grounders to short here in the second, and Tommy Harper will be the batter. And Harper, let's take a minute on this one. Nice season, 278, 349 on base. You know what Harper's doing so far this year? Well, you know I'm going to tell you. He comes into this game batting .089. That's right, he's 4 for 45. No home runs, no runs batted in. And until the last game, he was batting in the leadoff spot. And before I looked at it, I'm wondering, well, I wonder why he moved down. Why did Hefner move him down to the 7th spot in the lineup? Well, hell, I can see why. And here's Osteen's pitch to Harper. 4-3 is a grounder to third base X. That's Lefevre, 3-E24. He ranges to his left. Rolling the plays at 20. Jim's got it. Throws to Parker. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Osteen. 5-3 X. Harper retired. 1-2-3 go the Reds. And we've got a scoreless ball game as we move to the bottom of the second. Oh, God, Mike, I forgot all about the converter box. We lived in a town with hills, so we had like a 40-foot antenna, and there was a ladder in the back side of the house that my dad left there, the ladder to the roof. And sometimes you had to move the antenna, depending on what channel you wanted to see, and he'd tell me, go up and move the antenna. I loved doing it. I'd scamper up the ladder in 3 seconds flat, turn the antenna. My dad would be yelling out the living room window, a little more to the left, a little more to the left, stop, go back, stop. Oh yeah, I loved to get on the roof. I used to love to jump off the roof. I'd get a sheet or a big beach towel, pretend it was a parachute. Oh, those were the days. I was thinking the other day, man, I wish they'd had something like YouTube when I was younger. And then I started thinking about it a few seconds more and thought, boy, would I trade the youth I had for that, though? And the answer is absolutely not. There's no way I would give that up. We had it pretty good. We were outside playing. We weren't sitting on our phones all day like these kids today. Here's Davis, Lefevre, and he says as he streams on YouTube, right? And here's Davis, Lefevre, and Davis in the bottom of the second. O'Toole, the sign from Pavletic. Pitch to Tommy D is a 5-8 to the righty. A tapper down to third base. Rose has it. Over to Perez, one away. And welcome Kurt Miller. Yeah, up on the roof. Absolutely. The garage roof was good, too. There was a hill behind that, and you could run and jump off the backside and make the hill. There was a bank, actually, would be the best way to describe it. Not a hill, but a bank behind the yard. There was a hill behind the bank, and there were houses up behind us on that hill. Here's Lefevre now. O'Toole's pitch is a 6-6 to the right-hander. It's a tapper to short. Cardenas has it, throws him out, and quickly there are 2 outs in the second. And here's Willie Davis. Willie comes in batting .286, no home runs but 10 RBIs. Left on left now as O'Toole comes set, the windup. The pitch is a 6-8, and Willie smacks a base hit into right field. So a 2-out single for Willie Davis. Davis has wheels. He's a star 17. O'Toole is 0. But Pavletic a +2, so he'd be a 19, not Hill. They'll have to hold him on. That would make him a 1 through 17, and he's going to try for it. 2 through 5, 11 or 12. To get the 17, he's got it. The pitch to Torborg. There goes Davis. Pavletic's throw. He's been there barely on a 16. And Willie Davis has stolen it. And let's check the numbers on that. I love having these stats. That is Willie Davis's 5th stolen base of the season. And the next pitch to Torborg is going to be a 6-2 fly ball to right field and playable. Pinson's right there, makes the catch to retire the side. So no runs a hit, 1 left. We've played 2 innings here and we're still scoreless. And a welcome Sports Time Machine. Glad you could join us. To the 3rd we go. Mike C. wonders how we survive without cell phones. I remember I was gone most of the day. I would say, for example, I'm going to Bart's house. Well, the thing is, I'd go to Bart's house, and then we'd take off somewhere. So even if my dad had called Bart's house, neither one of us were there. We were out all day. We might be home in time for dinner. And Joel Horland has joined us. Welcome, Joel. Stats are where it's at. God, they certainly add a whole element to the game. Here comes Cardenas now. Cardenas comes in batting .195, but with 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. That's about in line with the card when you think about it. I mean, not that he should be hitting .195, but a .311 on base, so he had a low on base card, but hit 20 home runs in real life. 20 home runs for a shortstop in the 60s. I mean, that was saying something. Osteen ready to work now. Lined up the pitch to Cardenas, a 6-7 to the righty, is a grounder to second base X. That's going to be Nate Oliver, 2E21 as he ranges behind the bag. Here's the play, and he's got it. Throws Cardenas out, 1 away. 4-3X, Cardenas retired, and here's O'Toole. Jim O'Toole, a switch hitter. He'll be batting right-handed against Osteen. Osteen with a windup now. Takes a pitch to O'Toole on a 111, swung on and missed strike 3. And not surprisingly, O'Toole down on strikes. 2 down, and Tommy Helms will be the batter. Helms came into the game at hitting .143. He singled in the first inning to raise it a little bit. Osteen with the pitch on a 3-10. It's a foul ball, left side, Lefevre under it. He's there, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Osteen, who's now retired 7 straight. Absolutely, Mike. Different times for sure. And I'm sure I'm not alone in saying I would not trade them to be young in today's times, despite all of the technological toys that we would have had. Burning CDs, for example, digital downloads of music. Hell, I remember recording songs off the radio with a tiny reel-to-reel tape machine and a microphone. So it sounded like total crap, I'm sure. But it was fun to do. Bottom of the third we go, scoreless ball game. Nate Oliver to lead things off. O'Toole gets his sign. There's the windup. Pitch to Oliver, a 6-11 to the right-hander, and Oliver has a base hit up the middle and right into center field. So Nate Oliver aboard with a leadoff single. He's a star 15. +2, Pavletic, he'll have to be held on. Of course, with the 9, 10, and 12 automatic caught, he won't be trying for it. They'll have to hold him on regardless, or he automatically gets the lead. Osteen is C-butter, and he's going to lay it down. That's a 5C. And a sacrifice bunt is successful. So sacrifice hit Osteen. That will move Oliver into scoring position with one away, and here's Maury Wills. Wills, as I mentioned earlier, on an 11-game hitting streak. He grounded out to short his first time up. O'Toole from the windup now. The pitch to Wills, a 5-7, grounder to second base X. That'll be Helms. Slick fielding Helms, a 2E16, and here's the play. On a 9, error range, to 5 on a 16, and he makes the play. Ground ball A. No, sorry, wait, E16 on a 5. He boots it. I was wondering about that because a 5 is dangerous. The roll of a 5 on the X chart, and although not always, and it's usually not good for the fielders. So that's going to go down as an error on Helms. E4, Oliver to third. That'll be an error on the Reds. And the Dodgers have runners at the corners now. And they'll have to hold Wills on. 15, Pavletic +2. O'Toole is 0. 17 held on. He's a 15. And Wes Parker is going to swing away. Batting right-handed. The pitch is a 5-5, swung on and missed, strike 3. Parker down on strikes, 2 away. Wills still held on, and here's Lou Johnson. Lou flew to left his first time up. He leads the team in RBIs with 12. O'Toole from the stretch. On a 6-6, it's a tapper to short. Cardenas has it. He'll go the short way to Tommy Helms, and that will end the inning. No runs a hit, they leave a pair. We've played 3, and it's a scoreless ball game. Have my last cup of coffee for the day here. Certainly light years more alert than I was for the morning game. It'll be Rose, Pinson, and Pavletic for the Reds in the 4th. Pete struck out his first time up, batting right-handed against Osteen. The windup and the pitch, a 1-5. That's a triple to 1 on an 11. That's going to be extra bases for Pete Rose. Davis over to pick it up. Rose rounding. He's into second standing with a leadoff double. So a leadoff double for Pete Rose. And here's Pinson. Pinson singled his first time up. Pinson, as most of you know, a favorite of mine as a kid. Pitch from Osteen on a 6-9 to the lefty. Pops him up on the right side. Oliver calling for it. Infield fly rule. 1 down. And that'll bring up Pavletic. Don grounded into a double play his first time up. Runner on second, 1 away. The pitch to Pavletic, a 4-9 to the right-hander. That's a base hit into center. That's going to be an open single. Rose can try to score on that. Davis, a -1. Rose, a 15, 14. He's coming. Willie Davis is throw to the plate. He's safe. Rose crosses the plate with the first run of the ball game. It's an RBI single for Pavletic. And it's 1-0 Cincinnati. And here's Tony Perez. Perez hasn't played much. He came into the game 4 for 16 with a homer and 3 RBIs. Runner on first, not held, 1 away. Osteen from the stretch. Pitch to Perez, a 6-5 with a grounder to shortstop X. That'll be Wills. This could be 2. Wills with 3 E27. Here's the play on a 16. It's going to be a force play instead. Wills into the hole, turns, throws to Oliver. That's all they'll get. So 6-4X force. Pavletic forced Perez to first with 2 down, and here's DJ. 1-0 Cincinnati, just getting underway here. Osteen from the stretch. Pitch to DJ. A 2-4 pops him up left side. Infield fly rule. Wills there. And that will do it. But the Reds score a run on 2 hits and leave a man. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Cincinnati 1, Los Angeles 0. And Kurt points out in 1955, Ernie Banks became the first shortstop to hit over 40 home runs in a season. And for a long time when I was a youngster, him and Petrocelli were the only ones who had done it. Now I'm sure there's a long list of guys from, say, the 90s on that have added to that. Alex Rodriguez comes to mind. I wonder how many there are all in all. Hint, hint, a challenge for Kurt. Sports Time Machine, I do not. That just seems like one extra step to me that, on balance, just isn't worth the computation. Jimmy Rollins, there you go. O'Toole ready to work in the bottom of the 4th. Tommy Davis to lead things off for Los Angeles. O'Toole gets the sign from Pavletic. Here's the windup and the pitch. 6-7, ball 4, he draws the walk. So a leadoff walk to Davis. Davis not a threat to run. He was in his younger day. This is the post-injury Davis. And here's Lefevre, bounced out to short his first time up. Batting right-handed against O'Toole. O'Toole now from the stretch. A 2-10 is a high fly ball to left field. Back goes Johnson to the track and makes the catch on the track. So a 2-10 homer to 1. The split is a 3, and Lefevre is retired on a loud out to left field. And here's Willie Davis with 1 away. O'Toole from the stretch. Pitch to Willie, a 4-7, swung on and missed strike 3. O'Toole, bearing down, strikes out Willie Davis, and there's 2 outs here in the 4th. And it'll be up to Torborg. Torborg 0 for 1. Torborg hasn't played a whole lot this year. Well, more than I thought. He's 6 for 28, comes into the game 2-14. 6 for 29 now, of course. From the stretch, it's a 5-7 grounder to second base X. That'll be Helms, a 2E16. And here's the roll on the play. On a 16, Helms is right there, throws him out, and that will retire the side. 4-3X. No runs, no hits, 1 left. We've completed 4 innings of play. It's Reds 1, Dodgers 0. Did Seager do it? If he did, it was just this past year. I'm pretty sure he hadn't done it prior to that. Did Miguel Tejada ever hit 40? I'm trying to think of shortstops with power. And a thanks to Sports Time Machine. Brings some clarification to A-Rod's 40-plus home run prowess. As we move along to the 5th inning, Reds leading 1-0. It'll be the bottom of the order. Harper, Cardenas, and O'Toole. Osteen ready to work now. The sign from Torborg. Pitch to Harper, a 2-11. Harper's got a base hit into left field. So a line drive leadoff single for Tommy Harper. Harper's got wheels. Osteen a -1. Torborg a -1. That's a 16. They'll have to hold him on. He'll be a 1-14. Cardenas at batting with a pitcher on deck. He's going to try for that lead, 1-14. 2-5 and 11. 70 does not establish a lead. And here's the next pitch to Cardenas. On a 2-5, it's a 2-star single up the middle. Harper rounds and steams into third, and the Reds are in business here in the 5th with runners at the corners and nobody out. And here's O'Toole, a D bunter. He's going to lay it down anyway and try to stay out of the double play. Infield back. It's a 5 on a D, and it's a successful sacrifice bunt for O'Toole. That'll move Cardenas into scoring position with 1 down. And the batter will be Tommy Helms. Pete Rose on deck. Helms 1 for 2. So not as many as I thought have hit 40 then. So far, A-Rod, the only one. Nomar Garcia-Parra, perhaps? Second and third, 1 down. How are we going to play this now? The Dodgers will pull the infield in here with Helms up. He's a B-bunter, a good bat handler. They already trail 1-0. Pitch to Helms, a 5-9 against the right-hander. Triple to 2. That's going to be a 2-star single, and 2 runs are going to score. Here comes Harper. Here comes Cardenas to score on a 2 RBI single by Tommy Helms, and it's 3-0. And Claude Osteen just can't seem to get on track this year. He came into the game 0-3. Hasn't pitched all that badly, however. Helms not held on, and here's Rose, who's 1 for 2, doubled and scored in the 4th. Batting righty. The pitch from the stretch, a 4-5 to the righty. Swung on and missed strike 3. Down goes Rose on strikes. And with 2 away, it'll be up to Pinson. Pinson's 1 for 2 today. Oh, Tatis Jr., there you go. Very recently at that. Osteen from the stretch, the pitch to Pinson, a 1-6, struck him out. And that will end the inning, but not before Cincinnati picks up 2 runs on 3 hits and leaves a man. And they take a 3-0 lead into the bottom of the 5th. So O'Toole will stake to a 3-run lead now. He'll be looking at Nate Oliver, the pitcher's spot, and Wills in the bottom of the 5th. Oliver singled his first time up. O'Toole set now, the windup. The pitch is a 3-10, a fly into right field. Can of corn for Veda Pinson. He'll put it away, 1 down. Now it's kind of a tough decision what to do here. Osteen a 3 with N power, a left-handed hitter. He's going to bat. O'Toole left on left now. Here's the pitch. It's a 1-11. Single to 6, and what do you know? On a 4, Claude Osteen has a base hit. Only the 3rd hit of the game for Los Angeles, all singles. So I thought briefly about pinch hitting for Claude. But he comes through with a base hit. Osteen a cautious lead off at first as Wills stands in. 0 for 2 today. O'Toole from the stretch. Pitch to Wills, a 3-11. Single into right field. Wills goes the other way with it. Osteen can try to go to third on that. Most likely won't. Pinson a -2, 1 through 10. No, thank you. Osteen will wisely hold up at second base on the single by Wills. First and second one down, and here's Wes Parker now. Wes Parker, 0 for 2. He came into the game hitting .356. 1 home run, 6 RBIs. He is the league leader in runs scored, believe it or not, with 17. And O'Toole now from the stretch. The pitch to Parker, a 6-8, single to 4 on an 18. That liner is going to be right into the glove of Cardenas. Back to second, not in time. Osteen just does get back in there. Liner to short, 2 down. And it will be up to Lou Johnson. Lou is 0 for 2 today. O'Toole and S6 for endurance. We're only in the 5th. From the stretch. Pitch to Johnson, a 110. Triple on a 1-13. That's going to be extra bases for Johnson. Double, that'll score at least 1. Osteen can walk home. Wills can try to score. That's to center field. Harper a +1. Wills 17, 19, 20 with 2 outs. They're just going to concede that and cut off the throw. The most it can be is a 1 through 19, by the way. They'll elect to cut it off, holding Johnson at second, and it's a 2-run double for Lou Johnson. And that makes it a 3-2 ball game. And now the tension is back on as Tommy Davis steps to the plate. Davis 0 for 1 with a walk. O'Toole getting his sign now. The pitch to Tommy Davis. 6-8 to the right-hander. Single to 4 on a 17. That liner is right into the glove of Leo Cardenas. Oh my, and that retires the side. So 2 bullets hit right at Cardenas. That ends the inning. The Dodgers do come up with 2 runs on 3 hits. They leave a man. We've played 5 here, and it is Reds 3, Dodgers 2. And to think, Claude Osteen started that off with a single. Actually, he's had thoughts of pinch hitting for him. And Franklin Long points out, Cal Ripken, the prototype of the power-hitting shortstop. Kurt Miller comes through with the numbers. A-Rod 6 times. Some of A-Rod's were as a third baseman. No, only once. Maybe not at all, for that matter. I know he played some third. Banks did it 5 times. Tatis once. Petroselli. The record is 57 in 2002 by A-Rod. And then Kurt also adds that Ripken ended up with 431 career home runs. I'm assuming that has to be the most by a shortstop. So power at short, you look at these shortstops today, bigger and stronger than the shortstops of our era for sure. They all have almost, I say all, but almost all have rifle arms. And they've got some pop. Maybe not like these gentlemen we've just mentioned, but compared to your Bud Harrelsons and Mark Belanchers, most definitely. Osteen ready to work in the 6th. It will be Pavletic, Perez, and Johnson for the Reds. Osteen into the windup now. Pitch to Pavletic, a 2-7, and he draws the walk. So a leadoff walk to Pavletic. And here's Tony Perez. Perez just getting started in his career. 265, 257 at bats, 4 home runs. So the youngster, Tony Perez, getting the start here today. He's 0 for 2. Osteen from the start. Pitch to Tony, a 3-9, and he rips a 2-star single into left center. Double to 10, the roll is a 12. And the Reds have it going on again with runners at the corners and nobody out. Osteen a 6 for endurance, so now there's action in the Dodger bullpen as the vulture, Phil Regan, gets loose. Perez will not be held on. First and third, infield at double play depth for Darren Johnson. Johnson 0 for 2. Osteen from the stretch. And it's a 3-9 against the left-hander. He struck him out. Big strikeout for Osteen with runners at the corners and nobody out. And now they'll try to coax a ground ball out of the speedy Tommy Harper. Harper 1 for 2, singled and came around to score in the 6th. From the stretch, pitch to Harper, a 1-10. He pops him up on the left side. Infield fly rule. Wills there, makes the catch, 2 down. And it will be up to Cardenas. Cardenas is 1 for 2 today, also singled and scored in the 6th. Osteen getting his sign now. From the stretch, the pitch. It's a 5-4 to the right-hander. Catcher's card X. That's going to be Torborg. Torborg a 3-7. And here's the roll on the play. On a 17, it's a pass ball and foul out, so that will score another run. Pavlitic will score on the pass ball. Foul out 2X. Pass ball Torborg. The foul out to the catcher retires the side, but not before the Reds tack on another run on a hit and leave one. We've played 5.5, and it's Cincinnati 4, Los Angeles 2. So Osteen managed to avoid fatiguing that inning, if nothing else. And O'Toole will get ready to go to work here in the bottom of the 6th. Absolutely, Mike. Yeah, just being a good fielder was not enough anymore. That kid from Colorado is a hell of a fielder, though. Will he hit? Well, hard to say, but he's certainly in a good ballpark for a hitter. That's Ezekiel Tovar I refer to, who got the coveted 1 in his rookie season. That's pretty rare. Lefevre, Davis, and Torborg due for Los Angeles in the bottom of the 6th. O'Toole into the windup. Pitch to Lefevre on a 1-10. It's a tapper down to third base. Rose has it. Throws him out, 1 away. And here's Willie Davis now. Davis 1 for 2. Left on left as O'Toole comes to the plate. On a 3-8. Base hit up the middle for Willie, and he's 2 for 3. Willie stole second in the 2nd inning. Held on, he's a 1 through 17. And he's going to try for it. 2 through 5, 11 or 12. 7, he does not establish a good lead. And here's the next pitch to Torborg. That's going to be a 6-5. Swung on and missed strike 3. Torborg down on strikes. Chased one, low and away. 2 away, and it's up to Nate Oliver. O'Toole from the stretch. Pitch to Nate, a 6-6. It's a tapper to short. Cardenas has it. He'll go the short way to Tommy Helms, and that will end the inning. No runs to hit, 1 left. We've completed 6 here in Los Angeles. It's Reds 4, Dodgers 2. And yeah, the great Fred Lynn card. 1975, 1 center fielder, and a gold glove. And was Rookie of the Year, wasn't he? I believe he also finished relatively high in the MVP voting in 75. Today's bonus question, who was the American League MVP in 1975? I'm kind of thinking it was Lynn. Maybe not. 75 was Boston. He was the MVP. Thank you. There you go. Yeah, talk about announcing your presence with authority. O'Toole with a 2-run lead. He'll bat leading off the 7th. Osteen with a pitch, a 5-7 to the right-hander, a grounder down to short. Wills has it. Throws him out 1 away. And, of course, 2 hits or walks will fatigue Osteen. And here's Tommy Helms. This will certainly be Osteen's last inning of work regardless, as he's due to lead off in the bottom of the inning. Here's the windup and the pitch to Helms. Helms 2 for 3 today. 2-10 against the lefty. A tapper down to third base. Lefevre to his left. Nice play. Throws him out 2 down. 2 away, and Pete Rose will be the batter. Rose 1 for 3. Doubled and scored in the 4th and struck out twice. Osteen gets the side from Torborg, the windup, and the pitch, a 4-3 to the right-hander. A grounder to third base X. That's Lefevre, a 3E24. And here's the play. On a 6, the error range, 3X, that's going to be trouble. On a 24, he can't handle it. That's an error Lefevre. And Rose is aboard. E5, error Los Angeles. Rose not a threat to steal. And here's Pinson with 2 away. Osteen from the stretch now. Pitch to Vada Pinson, a 3-8. That's a base hit, 2 stars. Into right field, Rose rounds and goes into third easily on the base hit by Pinson. Runners at the corners, 2 away. And the batter is Don Pavletic. Osteen trying to get out of the jam now. Regan's ready. 1 more hit or walk will fatigue Osteen. From the stretch. The pitch to Pavletic on a 5-6, fly to left field, playable for Tommy Davis. He's under it now and makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, a hit, 2 left. There was an error. And we go to the bottom of the 7th, stretch time. Reds 4, Dodgers 2. Jim O'Toole in his season debut has held the Dodgers to 6 hits. So Osteen's day is done. He'll give way to a pinch hitter here in the bottom of the 7th. He goes 7. 6, 7, 8, 9 hits allowed. He walked 1 and struck out 4-5. He allowed 4 runs, all of them earned. Regan ready to come in. Now we'll have a pinch hitter for Osteen. Against Jim O'Toole. And Jim Gilliam pinch hit in this game in real life, a switch hitter. Seems like as good a choice as any to me. It'll be Jim Gilliam batting for Osteen to lead off the bottom of the 7th. And Mike points out that Lynn was an all-star for 9 consecutive years. And yes, sir, Osteen is pulled. You hit that one right on the nail head as he gives way to a batter here. Gillingham, a switch hitter, will bat right-handed against O'Toole. O'Toole comes set now. The windup and the pitch, a 4-5. Fly ball to left, that's going to be playable for DJ. He's right there under it, 1 away. So Gillingham retired. Here's Wills now. Wills with a base hit in the 5th extends his hitting streak to 12 games. O'Toole ready to work now. The windup and the pitch. That's a 3-4 against the lefty. Fly to left field, same deal. Easy play for Darren Johnson. 2 fly balls to left, and there's 2 down in the 7th. And here's Wes Parker now. Parker's 0 for 3 today. O'Toole into the windup now. Pitch to Parker, a 6-11 to the right-hander. Parker lines the base hit right up the middle, and he'll be aboard with a 2-out single. Parker, a 16 not held. Tempting, but Lou Johnson's going to hit away. He'd have to roll the lead. From the stretch now. 3-8, and he hits him. Holy crap. Man on first and 2 down. And O'Toole has just drilled Lou Johnson. The tying runs are on base, and now there's action in the Cincinnati bullpen. Jack Balshin, the righty, Ted Davidson, the left-hander. And it'll be up to Tommy Davis. Davis 0 for 2 with a walk. Runners at first and second, 2 away. Here's the pitch from O'Toole. A 2-3, foul out to the catcher. Foul ball behind the plate. Pavletic throws down the mask and makes the play to retire the side. No runs, a hit, 2 left. We've completed 7. It's 4-2 Cincinnati. And here comes the vulture, Phil Regan. You guys probably already know this, but he was nicknamed the Vulture because of the 14-1 record in relief. Vulturing wins from the starters. We go to the 8th, 4-2 Cincinnati. It will be Perez, Johnson, and Harper due for the Reds. Regan into his windup now. Pitch to Tony Perez, a 6-7. A tapper down to shortstop. Wills to his left, fields it, and throws him out. With 1 away, Darren Johnson will be the hitter. DJ 0 for 3 today. Regan into the windup. A 1-9. He walks him, ball 4. So Harper and his great wheels aboard. Regan a -1. Same thing as Osteen, so -2. Oh, never mind. It's Johnson that's aboard, not Harper. What am I thinking? Harper's batting. Harper with great wheels steps to the plate. He's 1 for 3 today. Johnson a modest lead from first, and from the stretch, it's a 3-7 right-handed fly to center field and playable for Willie Davis. Can of corn. 2 down. And that will bring up Leo Cardenas. Leo's 1 for 3 today. Regan gets his sign from the stretch. A 6-4 to the righty. Fly to center field next. That'll be Davis, a 2E12. Davis ranging to the gap. Here's the roll on the play. On a 4, he makes a running, leaping catch into the left center gap. Oh my goodness, look at that play. It's a web jam by Willie Davis. What a play. 8X exclamation. That will retire the side. No runs, a hit, 1 left. And if that had gotten by Davis, Johnson could have run all day long. O'Toole comes out for the 8th. He's a 6 rated for endurance. Lefevre, Davis, and Torborg do. Billy McCool has now joined Balshin in the Cincinnati pen. And here's Lefevre to lead it off in the bottom of the 8th. O'Toole the lefty, Lefevre batting right. The windup on the pitch. A 1-3. Tapper down to second base. That's Helms. Fields it cleanly. Over to Perez, one away. And here's Willie Davis, made that fine running catch in the top of the inning. He's 2 for 3 today. O'Toole into the windup. Here's the pitch on a 6-8 to the lefty, and it's a base hit, Willie Davis, and he's 3 for 4. And that'll bring up Jeff Torborg. Davis is going to try for that lead. Pavletic a +2. He's held on. He'd be a 17, and he's 2 through 5, 11, or 12. 70 does not get it, and here's the next pitch to Torborg. On a 1-8, fly to left field, playable for Johnson. He's right there to make the catch, 2 down. Davis at first, 2 down. It's Nate Oliver, 1 for 3 today. O'Toole from the stretch. On a 6-5, swung on and missed, strike 3. And oh my, Jim O'Toole has handcuffed the Dodgers here today. No runs a hit, 1 left. And I must say, as many left-handed pitchers have done. At least so far in the young replay. 4-2, that's probably enough out of O'Toole. Or should I let him go for the complete game? What do you think? I'm thinking a 2-run lead is too close to call. Probably should hit for him here. Oh, yeah, the voting, absolutely. Franklin points out 1970, the fan vote. First time since 1957. I do remember the ballot stuffing. And Joel has some unused ballots. Well, the Reds need a win. They're 4-8. I'm going to bat for O'Toole. And we'll bring in Billy McCool, their closer. "18 saves in real life, a magnificent 2.48. So O'Toole pitches 8 innings. Gives up 8 hits, only 2 runs. He walked 1 and hit 1. Struck out 2, 3, looks like 4. Let's double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's see who's going to bat. They used Queen for defense, I guess. Where in left? No, Queen can only play right. Well, let's see what they did there. Just a minute here, I'm peeking at the box score. Oh, I see what they did. Pinson to center. Yeah, we'll do the same thing for them then. Pinson to center, Harper to left. And trying to find a batter. Why not? Gordy Coleman, he's a left-handed batter. Gordy Coleman will be the pinch hitter to lead off the ninth. So Phil Regan facing Gordy Coleman here. Gets his sign from Torben. Here's the pitch on a 6-4 fly to center field X. Left-handed batter. Center is Davis, 2E12. Here's the roll on the play on a 17. He tracks it down and makes the catch for the out. So fly ball to center, 1 away, and here's Helms. Tommy Helms 2 for 4 today. His 2 RBI single in the 5th gave the Reds the lead. Regan is the windup. The pitch to Helms, a 1-5. Base hit up the middle, and Helms is 3 for 5 today. So Helms with a 1-out single, and that'll bring up Pete Rose. Rose is 1 for 4. Regan from the stretch now, pitch to Rose, a 1-6. That's a double to 8, and that's going to be down for a double 2 stars. Helms will hold up at third. Rose in with a 1-out double. That's the second double of the day for Rose. Second and third one down, and here's Pinson, Pavletic on deck. With 1 out, the Dodgers will pull the infield in here. And yes, Joel, he has 2 cards this year. The Shohei Ohtani of 1966. Yeah, not quite. Here's Regan's pitch to Pinson. A 3-5. That's going to be a triple to 6 on a 7. He just misses it, but that's going to be a 2-run double, and the Reds blow the game open. Helms in to score. Pinson in to score. It's a 2-run double for Pinson. And it's 6-2 Cincinnati. And here's Pavletic now. Regan getting his sign. Pitch to Dawn, a 5-6. Swung on and missed strike 3. 2 away. And Tony Perez will be the batter. Regan ready to work now. Pitch to Perez on a 5-7. Swung on and missed strike 3. So he strikes out 2, but it's 1 batter too late. As Pinson's 2-run double makes it 6-2. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 left. And for the Reds now, Harper moves to left. Pinson to center. And for DJ, Queen will come in and play right. So Queen, a computer-only card. He did come in for defense in real life in this game, where he's a 2E4 with a 0 arm. And, of course, he would lead off the 10th if necessary. Does not appear it will be, though, as Billy McCool enters the game. And the Dodgers will send up a pinch hitter for Regan. So Regan pitches 2. Gives up 3 hits, 2 runs. Walked 1, struck out 2. McCool, the left-hander. Pretty easy choice there. Al Ferrara will be the batter. Right-handed hitter. Ferrara comes in 2 for 17 on the season. 1 home run, 2 runs batted in. I'm catching up on the chat before we go to the bottom of the 9th. And more on power hitting shortstops. Kurt Miller points out that in 1945, Vern Stevens became the first shortstop to win the home run title with 24. And was also the first shortstop to hit 20 or more 3 times. In 1949, he hit 39 home runs with 159 runs batted in. Holy crap. That led the league, not surprisingly. And Joel points out that Johnny Lindell is a 2-carded player for the 53 Phillies. Good stuff, guys. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it. And I appreciate the stats and the history and all of it. Oh, that would make sense, Joel. Stevens hit behind the splendid Splinter, who was on base like 50% of the time, right? Here's Al Ferrara now, pinch hitting for the pitcher. Leading off the bottom of the ninth, Dodgers trail by 4 as Billy McCool comes on. He goes into his windup now. The pitch to Ferrara, a 1-7, swung on and missed, strike 3. And down goes Ferrara, 1 away. And here's Morey. Wills 1 for 4. McCool the windup now. Pitch to Morey, a 3-7 against the lefty. A tapper down to third. Rose has it. Throws him out, and the Dodgers are down to their last out. It'll be Wes Parker. Parker's 1 for 4 today as he stands in from the right side. McCool getting a sign from Pavletic now. Here's the windup. The pitch to Parker, a 3-6, homer to 3, but that's going to hang up in left field where Harper's playing now, and he makes the catch to end the ball game. 1-2-3 inning for McCool, and that's your final, 6-2 Cincinnati. So with that loss, Pittsburgh and Los Angeles are now tied atop the National League. Slightly different records. The Pirates 11-4 would be ahead on percentage points as the Dodgers drop to 12-5. The Reds improved to 5-8, and they pick up a game. McCool a flawless inning with 1 K. O'Toole's the winning pitcher. Claude Osteen, again the tough luck loser, and he drops to 0-4. This was O'Toole's first start of the season. For the Reds, 6 runs, 12 hits, 1 error. The Dodgers, 2 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. And that's your final from Los Angeles, where the Reds beat the Dodgers 6-2. No home runs in the game. And how about our Chief Spokane Gary player of the game? That's a tough one today. O'Toole, of course, with 8 innings. Rose was 2 for 4. Helms was 3 for 5 and drove in the 2 runs that put them in the lead. How about Tommy Helms for Chief Spokane Gary player of the game? Hell, it might be his only chance to win it all year. No, I'm kidding. Thank you, guys. Tomorrow's 1 p.m. game is going to be the St. Louis Cardinals at the San Francisco Giants. That'll be Sadecki versus Shaw. So please join me for that one. Hit that like button on your way out. I want to thank everyone for spending the afternoon with me. Take care and have a very pleasant evening to everyone. And Kurt says O'Toole in his first appearance of the season, 8 innings, 8 hits, 2 runs. We'll call it co-MVPs of the game. How's that? O'Toole and Helms. And with that, everyone have a great evening. Thanks, guys, again. Take